saying, that will be a problem. For instance, if an advert is saying commitment to safeguarding is essential, so you will end up ignoring it. But those who've mentioned, for instance, safeguarding training or child protection and all of those, they stand out because then for them they've mentioned something similar in their CV. That one detail makes a difference, so you don't ignore anything. And then mistake number 4 is not following the instructions. Simple things like what you're supposed to attach, the format, like email subject, like addressing your application and all of those, or in terms of timeline and deadline, or sending wrong email addresses and all of those. It's very important. When you don't follow the instruction, it's a mistake on your part because then you are the one losing the opportunity. Somebody would put, myself mostly I put, indicate the position you are applying for in the email subject. Then I provide quotes and be like, human resource manager, you get. Even referencing what you should write. And then somebody will not put it and they just send. So when you are filtering out this application, it's very difficult because already this person's application will not show up. So it's very important for you to follow instruction because you don't know what happens in the backend. So much work goes on in the backend. Some people use the title of the job advert to see all the applications to filter because they could be advertising so many other positions. So if they put the title, your application will not show up because you did not use the subject. If they tell you PDF, one single document format, you are attaching Word document. Some people attach JPEG, like images, like hundreds of them, different images. Nobody will open them. They will simply just send you a rejection email. So it's very important for you to follow the instructions to the letter. Do not ignore anything. Treat these instructions as a test of your attention to detail. The moment you ignore them, the impression the employer has of you is that you are not somebody who pays attention to detail. If you can fail to see basic information in the job advert, how will you be able to perform on the role? That's just the impression you are creating. So it's very important for you to always pay attention to the instructions. Then the last one is applying for roles that you do not understand. So when you are applying based on title alone without understanding the responsibility is a mistake. Misalignment between your personal interest and job expectation, that's a mistake. So don't apply for roles that you do not understand. Don't just look at the job title and then apply. Different titles could mean different things in different setup or in different organizations. So when you are applying, don't just apply for the title. Apply when you've gone through the advert, understood what this person is going to do on daily basis in that workplace. That way, you are able to tell that you are not just qualified, but your interest at a personal level also aligned with that of the organization. A very strong reminder for you is that every strong candidate are overlooked when the applications don't speak directly to what the job ad asked for. There could be so many good candidates out there when they are applying for jobs, but just because they fail to tailor their CV or application letter to what the advert is asking or what the employer is looking for, they end up being disqualified. So just keep it in mind that not every application remains the same when you're sending, not every CV remains the same when you're sending. That's why it's important for you to analyze the job advert before you even think about applying. So I have provided a BYBS 6-step analysis approach that you are going to use for you to effectively analyze any job advert that you come across, and we are going to practice it uh, with you all together. And this approach is very simple because it covers everything that we've already talked about. The first thing you have to do is to read the entire job advert slowly and carefully. Make sure you've understood everything. Don't be in a hurry to finish it. Read everything carefully, understand it properly. Then identify the key sections that are there in terms of the title, the organization, what are the duties, what are the qualifications that are preferred, you know, that are desired, what are some of the criteria they're going to use, what are the instructions for you to apply. Then go ahead to highlight all the must-haves and then the nice-to-haves. Must-haves are those ones that compulsory for you to have. You must have it, must have. Without it, you can't go forward. The nice to haves are those ones that if you have is an added advantage. It can set you apart from the rest of the candidates. Then go ahead and extract keywords from the job advert. Pay attention to all the repeated phrases and action verbs that are in the advert. Do not leave out anything. Extract some keywords. You don't need to extract everything, just the ones that are repeated everywhere. Extract those. Then decode the hidden messages in terms of the culture and values that gives you an idea of what the organization is all about. Then follow the application instructions exactly the way it is. Do not leave anything out in terms of the naming, in terms of the detail, in terms of the email, how you're supposed to apply, whether you apply physically by dropping your application at their office or through their website, and all of those. Very, very important for you to pay attention to. And then, so before you apply for any job advert, ask yourself if you meet at least 70% of the requirements. If you don't apply for that advert because you automatically disqualify yourself. Ask yourself if you can tailor your CV or cover letter to match exactly what the employer is looking for or what the employer values. If you are not able to tailor it, please forget about that application. Don't apply. Then ask yourself again if this job is a good fit for your skills, for your aspirations, for your career goals, and all of those. If it is not, please don't apply. You get. So it's very important for you to keep all of this in mind before applying for any job advert. So I think that covers everything that we have to do apart from the demonstration. I think I'll stop there. We do a few Q&A and then we go to do like one analysis for any advert out there. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can just ask a few. I'll stop sharing my screen so that I can see if you're typing the chat and I'll to respond. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Brenda. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, this is the right time to ask all your questions.
Good afternoon once again to Viola. So my question is about that part of must have like qualifications. For instance, some advert may require a candidate to have at least a degree. Okay, if you have a diploma, it happens a candidate is applying with a diploma. and has experience of more than 5 years. Yet the other guy is a new is a new graduate or fresh graduate with a degree holder. So I don't know in this scenario here, how can you maybe select or how can you be be in confidence of maybe to compete for that positions? Yeah, thank you.
Oh, if I got you right, you're asking if a candidate holds a diploma but has 5 years of solid experience, and then there is a candidate that has a degree and is a new graduate but has no work experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other part is saying a candidate should have at least must have a bachelor degree in certain things. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, in my experience, most times, what happens with most employers is that if the advert says strictly a bachelor's degree required, so for you, a diploma holder, most of the times they will filter you out, mostly, because most of the applications are automatically. Before it even reaches to somebody to look at, it will filter you out. And then if the advert says bachelor's degree required, or diploma with substantial experience may be considered, then it's a good thing. Yeah. Then the experience becomes a very strong deciding factor that the employers will be looking at. So in practice, many managers balance between education and experience. A degree shows mainly the theoretical knowledge, while experience shows the practical ability to deliver on the job. If you are a diploma candidate with 5 years of experience, emphasize achievement instead of just listing like what you did or what you're doing. Yeah. Demonstrate the 5 years that will equate to a bachelor's degree. You get. Highlight practical know-how. Put yourself in a position where you are basically demonstrating that you are a fit for the role, despite the fact that you do not hold maybe a bachelor's degree. Then you should also be able to show continuous learning. If you've done short courses, you should add them. Or if you are thinking of enrolling for a bachelor's course, you should add them. So you should be able to position yourself as a candidate who will add value immediately without long learning curve, because somebody who is having little experience, as much as they have a bachelor's degree, will require a lot of training on the job. But for you, if you can be able to demonstrate that your impact is immediate without having to wait or having to learn for so long to deliver, then you stand a chance. So the balance falls between what the employer is looking for. But if you find yourself in that kind of situation, do not be discouraged. If you only have a diploma and a very strong experience, your age is your practical experience. Of course, that sets you apart from that person who has a bachelor's degree. Employers know that you can deliver. Let your CV or cover letter do the talking for you. Don't underestimate the fact that you are already um, down with that aspect of the the bachelor's degree. So the safest strategy for you is try to upgrade or do a professional course, which you can of course indicate in your documents when you are applying for the job to show that you're interested in learning more or upgrading. You get. I hope that explains for you.
Any other question? I see there are some questions in the WhatsApp group. Someone, Mark Charles is asking, how will I know that my CV has reached the 70% requirement?
Okay. So for you to be able to tell that, because we are doing the analysis, you will be able to use the analysis to know if you are at 70% requirement. So first of all, you should be able to compare your CV against the job advert, highlight all the must-haves. In terms of the must-haves, how many must-haves are there? And then out of all, for instance, if you have up to 10 things that are must have, you get. And then you should be able to tick that I have this, I have this, I have this. And then you should be able to indicate out of everything that they require that I must have, how many do I have? How many don't I have? If there are 10 things that they need and you have 7, you are at 70% knowing, just in layman's term. But if they need 10 things and you have 2, you have a problem. You get. So you can also use keywords when you are now tailoring, of course, your CV and cover letter. If you are missing too many of the keywords in your CV or cover letter, it's a problem. So you should be able to tailor your CV and cover letters to be able to identify some that keywords that are already in the advert are available in your CV and application. And you can use ATS applicant tracking systems to be able to skim through your CV and cover letter to see if they are actually tailored specifically. And if there are too many words missing, then you will know that you've not reached the 70% score. Check very like 3 big things you can check out in terms of the education, the experience, and the skills. Those are very key things mostly that people look at when they are shortlisting. That will give you an idea of how or if you're at 70% of the requirement or not. Yeah, I think that's basically it in terms of how you would know or tell.
Yes. Hello.
Yes,
Hello. Hey, Brenda. Good
yes.
evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Samuel.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I really, all like, I
Mm,
acquired much of the knowledge. Thank you so much.
okay.
Uh, Concerning the must-haves and the, the advertisement. I don't like most of the time I always come across these advertisements, but most of the requirements, like for instance, the must-have.
Mm,
They're normally like they acquire. They want somebody who at least have the experience. And like I'm asking, how about the freshers? Like somebody who have just graduated, like since you don't have the experience, you're a fresher. So what do you expect? Like maybe to find a job, or maybe to get experience without getting a job. Like how does it deal with the freshers? Like do you have anything to say about it? Like for the freshers, since most of the advertisement required experience. Did you did you get me?
yeah, I got you. You said for those who don't have experience,
Yeah, a fresher.
how can they apply for jobs that are asking for experience? Yeah, I think
Exactly.
that's
You got me right.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so most times employers ask for experience because they want someone who can start quickly without too much training. That's one reason. They are trying to reduce the risk. Risk hiring is very expensive, it takes a lot of time. So they prefer somebody who already knows other than somebody who they'll bring on board to be trained. Except they are recruiting trainees or interns. That one it's very clear. Yeah. And then sometimes the years of experience is used as a filter. Yeah. So it's not really like an absolute rule, like, sometimes they can put it there, but it's not absolute. Like they can flex it at any time. So it should not be something to deter you. But you're right though. It creates a huge pressure if you're a new graduate. That's true. Sometimes you see an advert saying 3 to 5 years of experience required, even for entry level roles. You get it feels like the system is somehow unfair and all of that. And honestly, sometimes it's true and it's tough, yes. That pressure is real and many people go through it all the time. But for you as an individual, experience is not only in formal employment, okay? We always feel when somebody asks for experience, we want to demonstrate formal employment. I mean, you get. You can build experience through so many ways. Through internship, that's one. Through volunteering, you can build experience. Through freelancing and part-time jobs, you can build experience. Through your courseworks in school, the projects that you do, you can build experience. Through your personal initiatives, like your small startup business, managing like a community event, a family event, if you're actually the one even organizing it. All of those are platforms that you are using to build experience. So experiencing is not only the formal employment. Now, the only thing is for you to refrain from the pressure. Instead of saying 3 to 5 years required as a blocker, like as a block, think about how you should be able to demonstrate skills they want, even if you don't have the formal 3 years. If they're asking for skills that you should be able to demonstrate what skills you have. You get. If they want experience in managing people, for example, you can show how you led maybe a debate club in maybe your high school and all of those, or a sports team, how you maybe led a youth group and all of those. Those are experiences that you can demonstrate in terms of managing people. But you should have already understood what they are looking for. You get. So my advice is that don't be discouraged by what the job advert says. You should always be able to transfer relatable experiences directly from your real life examples that you can actually apply on the job. Transfer those skills. And you should be able to transfer them the way they are in your CV. Demonstrate how these skills that you have or the experiences that you have can already fit into what the employer is asking for. That way, you are able to demonstrate your fit for the role. Use every opportunity that you have to gain exposure, to gain experience, because there's nowhere you will get them. You must intern, you must volunteer, you must do whatever you have to do to sell your potential or motivation to future employers and stay very patient. Experience is not about paid job. You can even take up unpaid jobs and all of those and gain as much experience as possible because, like you rightly put, if you don't have experience, very few people want to employ you because then they will feel you will require a lot of training on the job, which time they do not have. I hope that is very clear.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was really keen to hear whatever you said, and actually, you made one thing clear to me. Like, I always think, like, maybe to have experience, maybe you have to find a job, like, you know. So, but you really make it clear, like, it's not only about finding paid jobs for you to find experience, and I, I really get you. Thank you so much for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, hello.
Yes, Joseph.
Yes, thank you, Brenda, for your time. Mine is just brief. Is it important for one to maybe design your CV in a very good way? Two, um, I have one of my friend was telling me that before maybe you apply to one of job, maybe to like a company or organization that you don't know, it's very important for you to do a background check. So right now, can you tell me whether it is important first to do a background check before applying for a job for you to know exactly what maybe that organization is running or that company is running exactly. And then the lastly, uh, I want to know, uh, oh, can you maybe tell us exactly the format, if you can maybe make it practical or what, just the format of how we can develop a good CV. I hope you get me well.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will start with the last one on the CV. So we have an entire session on how to write a proper cover letter and a CV tomorrow. You can mute yourself. Yeah, like that. So we have a whole these 2 hours tomorrow to write our cover letters and CV. So you'll have the opportunity to understand how you can properly write your cover letter and CV. That's okay. Then, in terms of designing your CV very well, which of course we will cover tomorrow, but I just want to say that a CV is your first impression. Yeah. I told you, like, you sent two documents to somebody who doesn't know you. That's your cover letter and your CV. So they should be talking on your behalf because you're not there. Before they see you, they see your CV. Even if you have the right skills, if your CV is very messy or disorganized or irrelevant, you will be rejected because they are looking at your CV and you are not there. So your CV should be sent in a format that is very clear and neat. A well designed CV should highlight your strengths quickly. When somebody looks at it, they should already see everything in your CV. They do not take even up to 3 minutes to finish going through your CV. So the moment they look at it, it should be very neat, clear, and communicates exactly what they want to see. You get. So that is it. It is a branding or a marketing tool, that CV. So it should be neat and clean and very impressive. That's very important. And then two, you talked about doing a background check before applying. So, yes, I can honestly tell you that it is very important. Why? Because not every job is a fit for you. That's true. A background check helps you to know what the organization does. If they are in humanitarian work, if they are in business, if they're in education, if they're in development work, it helps you to know that. And then it helps you to also know what values they stand for. And if these values align with yours, it's very important. And then it also helps you to know what work culture, like the work culture that is like in that place, and if it is something that you want to join. And then if the organization has a very good reputation, if it is a very ethical organization, if they pay their staff on time and all of those. So it's very important for you to do your background checks properly. Don't just ignore that part, because if you rush to applying for the job, you may stay there a month, you will not even finish a month, and you feel like, oh, I can't work in this place. It's very toxic, it's very this, it's that. And then you end up quitting in less than a month or two. You get. So it's very important for you to do your background checks. Yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. That's the only thing that I wanted to hear. I'll wait for the session tomorrow for the practical thing. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes, please go ahead, Suya and
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Uh,
afternoon.
yeah, I have a question concerning some documents when applying. Like, for instance, you talked of when someone has no experience and maybe you have a life experience from school life, something of that kind. So is it important, like maybe you have certificate of merit or certificate of appreciation? Is it important for you when applying and you attach those documents to your CV? Or maybe how can you explain that maybe you have worked as this, so that maybe to show that person that you also have some experience.
Okay, thank you so much. Um, if they have not, because some organization limit you in terms of the size of documents that you can submit. There are those who don't limit, which is okay. But what you can do in your CV is how you can explain that certificate. If, for instance, you're a youth chairperson, I don't know any club in South Sudan, a debate, a debate chairperson in your campus, yeah. So in that chairperson role, you did so many other things. You get, you organized meetings, you ensure that people are participating in the debate, you represented the school in external events, meetings, debates, and all of those. So through that activity, through that role alone, even if you have a certificate of merit, like maybe you are the serving chairperson for 1 year, this period to this period as a chairperson, even if you don't attach that certificate, it's okay. But if they need it in future, they will tell you to bring it. You get. But when you're writing now your CV, you should be able to translate that role of a chairperson into your document. For instance, if you're talking about being a chairperson, you did a lot of maybe a coordination role. You get. You should be able to demonstrate your level of skill through that chairperson role in your CV. Of course, you will be mentioning how you were a chairperson in this debate lab and what you did there. You get, and then how what you've already done can help you also perform in the role. If, for instance, you're applying for a program, a program officer role, it requires a lot of cluster coordinations and all of those. And you're somebody who held a leadership role in school. And in your leadership role, you've been able to coordinate activities, coordinate student activities, and all of those. That's already experience enough. If you don't have a coordination skill, trust me, even in high school, you will not manage the school, you will not manage the students because they're just that crazy. So for you, the only task for you is to move that entire experience into your CV. And you can only do that by saying throughout that chairperson or head prefect or whichever role that you held, you've been able to harness maybe a particular skill in coordination where you've had the opportunity to coordinate school activities internally and externally with other schools and all of those. By doing so, you are already creating the impression that you have done this. You get, you already have the experience that they require. You have the skill and you have the experience. As much as they may be telling you they want a coordination role, maybe cluster coordination role and all of this, but you already have a similar experience. It's only that it's not in a cluster setting, you get, but it is there. You have the skill, you know what you're supposed to do, you get. So that is the only task that is left for you to do, to tailor your CV and application, you get. But in terms of attaching the document, if there are limitations in the size of document, don't attach it because then it will be too bulky, it will not go through. You can keep it for later. But if there are no limitations, as long as you put all of them For instance, when they tell you to attach a cover letter, a CV, and your academic documents, you get. So under the academic documents, put all of them into one document. So you can use that opportunity to put there the certifications that you've acquired. So you can group it all together and label it academic documents. It will have your degree slips, certificates, or diploma or masters. It will have all of them as one. Then now you have an independent CV, then an independent cover letter, all three all together. But if they give you instruction in terms of what you should attach, just limit yourself to that, because the more things you add, they feel that you're not following the instruction, which is very important. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Anybody with a question?
Good evening, Brenda.
Good evening.
Actually, today's session is very interesting. To ask money, I can. So I see a lot of questions in the chat box there. Mine will be
Oh, yeah,
just very
I'll
simple
go
thing.
through it.
Yeah. So my question is very simple. Like, can you please demonstrate for me uh, email portal and format in form of sending or attaching your application?
Pardon?
I'm saying that can you differentiate for me email, portal, and format in form of sending your in form of application?
Email format and portal format.
Yeah. You talk about them before in the beginning, but I did not
Oh,
able to answer.
okay. So what I meant in terms of email application or portal is like there are some people who like tell you I wanted to check some on NGO folder. Who like tell you to apply, they have their website, yeah. So when you go through their website, you will send your application through their website. So they don't want you to apply by sending it on email. So I just want to give you an example of any. I don't know which organizations use a portal. All of these are emails, I think. Children.
Save the children, yes. Save the children has.
Yeah.
Or
Okay. Something like okay. So you see, this one is saying how to apply. Click below link. You see, so it has provision on how you should apply. Is that the correct one? You have to sign up and all that, or I clicked the wrong one. Maybe careers here. So let's see. New jobs. So it's actually a lot of work, and because we have not picked any particular posting details, create filter. So it requires to sign up before you can apply, which we are not able to do now. If we had, but do you have any site that has anything that can be used for demonstration?
a site that what?
So he wanted us to demonstrate the difference between our portal application, but I wanted to, okay, I can just say that for the email, they will tell you in the advert that just attach the email to this particular email. Like when you are sending your application, you attach to that email. But when you are applying through a portal, it's like the way you,
The one for Save the Children is not working?
it requires me to sign up.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it requires me to sign up.
So you just tell them it's more like how it has no much difference with
Yeah.
the form, with the Google form that they usually fill. And yeah, it's most common with organizations like Save the Children. We have ICRC. We have most UN agencies. They also use portals for applications. So, for example, what they can do is let them. There's an application called SouthSudanJob.com. There's a website called SouthSudanJob.com. So let them create profiles there, and then that is an example of how they can submit. But most of them usually require you to sign in. There's no portal
Yeah,
that will not.
they'll require you to sign up. Always you must sign up. Yeah, jobs. I think I had a profile, I think, on your job or something. But I just want to show you this difference. When you're required to send an email, I meant that this, for instance, this person is telling you how to apply. To apply, please send your CV and cover letter outlining your experience and motivation for applying to recruitment at continentalmed.com by 12th September 25. You get. So you take this email, this one, you copy it, and you go to your email. Yeah. If you are applying through Gmail, you copy it and put compose.
Okay.
Yeah. You compose your email like so, and I have a signature. I'll remove it. So you put here the email. Two is this email, this one here that is here. You copy this email, this one, and you put it here. Two. Then you add the
Sorry,
subject.
your screen is not moving, huh?
Pardon?
Your screen is not moving. I'm not seeing the cursor. Your screen is not moving. I'm not seeing the cursor now. It's stuck.
What are you seeing?
Oh,
You
at
can.
least, yeah, I see this one. Before it was in the other one. Yeah,
So this one is where
I'm
you
seeing now.
write your email. Provide a body and the subject and then the recipient email. The one you pick from the advert, you put it here. If you want to attach, go to this one, attach file like this. Then you look for where your application and CV are. You pick, and you open. It will attach. You pick whatever you are attaching, and then it will. When you've written your subject, the recipient, and the content of your email, you click send, it will go. That is how you submit the email application. Then for the portal, we can't do a demonstration because it always require you to, but it's always, most of them have like a form, an online form like the one you use for the Build Your Best Self when you were applying. It asks you questions, you fill in. Then when you're done, it gives you a room for you to attach something. Then you attach. It can tell you to attach an ID, your CV, and then your maybe a motivation letter and any other thing. It will tell you there on what to attach. Then you attach those like the way you are attaching on the email, and then now you send. Now those ones you send there and you follow it there because that is a website. It's not like email. The website will track for you the status of your application, whether it is pending review, whether it has been reviewed, whether you are successful or not. It will keep track on the website. But for the application, once you send it, that's done. You will receive email from the employer on whether you've been listed or whether you've not been listed. So those are the only few differences, but every other thing else is the same.
Or
So
maybe there's a need for you to create an account so that you can do information access your application. If you don't have
I,
that account,
I can't
you don't,
I can't hear you. I didn't hear that question.
as I was adding up, I was like, compulsory, you need to also open an account for you to access the application.
Yeah. Bida said
Like a
you
step by
can go
step,
to
you need to have an
southsudanjobs.com.
account. Yeah.
Yes. And then you sign up there, create a profile, and then you use that for some of the applications that you're doing. I'm not familiar with that. You can check it out and see if it's because if it offers opportunities, then definitely you can use that as a means that you can use for applying. If you get stuck, you can always find a way to ask for support. Somebody saying something. Mayen Joseph, you want to say something?
No, no, nothing.
No. Okay. Please mute yourself. Somebody in the chat is asking, is it advisable to AI like ChatGPT to skimmed job advert? So I'm guessing you mean if it is okay for you to use AI to analyze like your adverts for you and all of those. I hope so. So So AI tools can be used to analyze adverts quickly. It can highlight for you the key skills, requirements, and keywords. They can also help you in terms of summarizing some of the long adverts you get. And then also it can help you to make suggestion in terms of how you can rephrase some keywords in your cover letters and your CV. But AI should not replace your thinking. That's important. Employers may want to see your unique story and personal voice the way it is. Some of them use AI detectors to check and see if you are actually the one that wrote everything they are saying, or it was generated through AI. If you just copy everything that AI writes, it will sound very generic and many recruiters will be able to tell. So you can, yeah, use AI, summarize and all of that, but then put your own personal touch in terms of your experience and achievement to it. That way it feels more authentic. Yeah. Okay. And someone is asking, I need to know also when it comes to applying for a job, which way is the best, email or delivering hard copies? Because it feels like that sometimes some of the HR officers don't look in all the hard copies application because of the bulk. And how do we advise us to these things? Um Just follow the instruction. If the instruction tells you to apply online or submit hard copies, just follow that. Don't try to do the opposite. And if it tells you to either or, yeah, you can choose. Mainly, it's just us thinking that when you drop hard copy they'll not look at it, when you send online they'll not look at it, just like you're thinking that when you do a hard copy people will not look at it. The same way somebody is thinking, when I send an email they'll not look at it. That's not true. People get the opportunity to look at the applications. The only important thing is make sure you follow what is written on the instruction. Yeah, always follow that. Yeah, also follow in terms of your convenience, if you are in a place where you can drop a hard copy and still apply online, you can even opt for both options. If you feel like there is no sense of security, choose to apply online and also submit a hard copy. That way you will be sure that if they miss it here, they miss it there. But trust me, people have the opportunity to look at all the applications they get. Yeah. So always follow what the instruction is saying. If they say you drop hard copy, you drop hard copy. If it is soft copy, you drop the soft copy. And then I hope that answers your question. You will just tell me again if it doesn't. And then somebody saying something has been bothering me about organization asking for years of work experience. How will I address this as a university graduate and have never worked with an organization before? I don't know. I think I've addressed this on what you're supposed to do. James Kaman, please let me know if this my earlier response did not surface for you, but I did address that. Yeah. It's very important for you to know that even if you are a university graduate, you already have experiences. You have experiences from your university days, you have experiences from your high school days. Those are experiences that you can use to demonstrate a level of experience in terms of the work or the role that you are applying for. But don't be too ambitious when you are applying. For instance, if you are a fresh graduate, don't go straight away applying for a managerial role. You get that one, you will be thrown out. Whether you have demonstrated experience from university, high school, and all of those, it doesn't hold. But junior level roles, you can apply for them. Junior level roles, officer roles, you can apply for them, demonstrating some level of experience. But managerial, supervisory role, director role, do not apply for them if you do not have extensive experience, because usually they can even ask for 5+ years of experience, and you cannot match that up by simply saying somebody or telling somebody that, oh yeah, I was a chairperson before in a certain debate club. No, that one will not hold the place. But if somebody is asking for a year, 2 years, or 3 years of experience, it's minimum. It can work for junior level roles. And those are roles you should target first as a fresh graduate, because then you will use that as an opportunity for you to build your experience. Yeah. And I just said that experience is not just formal employment. Internship is experience, volunteer is experience, community work is experience. All are experience. So don't just be focused on formal experience alone. That's somebody saying, does it mean we should always edit our CVs basing on different adverts? Yes, yes, Winnie, please, yes. Don't use the same CV for all applications. It will not work. It will not work because they are not the same. The organizations are not the same. The roles are not the same. You should never use one CV. Never. For every advert, make sure you've tailored a particular CV and a cover letter for that particular job. You get. Don't ever use the same one. Yes, Bida. Somebody's asking, do hiring managers have time to read all the CVs of more than 200 applicants? Oh my God. Nobody has time to look at even 10 feels like a lot, yeah? That's why I was telling you that they rarely read through the entire CV. You get, they rarely read through. And what happens is that most times people use the basics in terms of the must-haves to simply filter out your applications. Now, most organizations today use what they call applicant tracking system. It's like a software that filters the applications automatically. And the applicant tracking system is designed in a way that it is very rigid. They feed it certain criteria to lock out applications. For instance, they can say bachelor's degree, 5 years experience, CPA holder, you know, the moment you send an application through that system and it doesn't have these three things, it will throw it away. It will throw it away. And the only thing you will get is that all of these applications have been thrown away. Only a few who have met these three basic requirements have been able to go through. You get. And then for people who do it manually, they also don't have time to look at 200 applications. They will look at, they open one CV. Probably if somebody is looking at the CV, they can open your CV and see, does he have a bachelor's degree? Yes. Does he have 5 years of experience? No. Then they just put it aside. Like that, they don't have time to look at 200 applications, and that is what is called long listing. They long list you based on the must-have minimum requirements. Once that is done, then they have a separate list of people who have something that they are looking for. Then the next stage is for another person now to come and sit and look at those applications now from the angle of what sets now the candidates apart. Because out of the 200, you might find 50, all of which have now bachelor's degree. All of those have 5 years of experience. So you have to look at what extra sets them apart. Robin, please mute yourself. Yes, like that. So yes, that's why we said earlier that your CV and cover letter should be tailored. That way, at least it stands a chance of being noticed because people do not have time to look at all the applications. Winnie is saying that is serious. Josephine is saying, I have an inquiry. Why does some organization also always focus on a certain age when recruiting interns, and does the age come to align with actual learning professionalism? Josephine, if you're here, please, you could just unmute. I don't understand your question. Why does some organization also always focus on a certain age when recruiting interns? And does the age come to align with actual learning professionalism? Bida, do you think you can interpret that question? I can't seem to.
Yeah, she's talking about age eligibility. She's talking about why do some organizations prefer only people within a certain age bracket for their programs, let's say internship programs. Then they tend to leave out other people. For example, some organizations may say we don't need somebody of more than 25 years in our internship program.
Oh, okay. So most times organizations put age limits, especially for internships, because the internships are meant for entry level exposure, and many organizations assume that interns are students who are fresh from graduate, and normally between the age of 18 to 28, you are already to assume to have been somebody who was recently graduated. Beyond that, you should have passed the age of, you get. The assumption is that you cannot be inexperienced and be over 30, and maybe the dynamic is true in terms of how people go to school. Some people stay long and then they later go to school, come back and later go to school. But again, for you, they put that so they ensure that whoever they are taking are people who are young, energetic, first of all, and fresh graduate. Yeah. So their thinking is that somebody who has passed that age limit should not be in school. That's the mindset for most employers who put that. Then some of them are in terms of donor restrictions. If their donor restricts them to a certain age, for instance, a youthful age, some donors define what a youth is in terms of age, and they tell you you cannot have somebody above a youthful age for their program, so they put an age limit. And then employers sometimes assume young candidates are more adaptable, more flexible, they're easier to train, willing to learn, you know. And sometimes they assume that this young person does not have responsibility and can easily accept a low pay compared to an older or elderly person who probably has a lot of responsibility and may not accept yeah, a low pay. So those are some of the they want now a young person, they want to bring a younger person who can be mentored to take over that role of maybe a HR officer and then later maybe a HR manager. So in terms of succession planning also it's very key because an elderly person, okay, there are things that comes with age obviously. So I hope that answers your question. But don't be discouraged by age, issues of age. Yeah. Always apply and defend yourself. Some organizations don't put it, they are more flexible. What is the latest version of CV update at Bida? That is somebody is asking Bida. Maybe we'll look at that tomorrow. Another thing I want to know is when we are sending the application online, can we just put the cover letter in the space for the body of the email, or we should prepare it and attach it as PDF? Two things. If depending on what they're asking for, normally somebody will tell you to attach your cover letter and application, but don't send a blank email. Put put a content, yeah, on the email before sending. Also, on the online portals, mostly they provide a space where you're supposed to write your application or motivation and then now attach a CV. So depending on what you're applying for, it will give you an idea of how you should apply. And then James is saying it's advisable to always keep your files as PDF because they can be downloaded and inserted in the company database for the screen. I hope that answers you. I don't understand the comment. Oh, yeah. Can the applicant follow up by email or by other formal means if there is no information about the next phase? Yes, please go ahead and follow up on email. If you know their office, you can also go there and check. Just follow up on your application. Don't just give up. Does the restriction apply in government job opportunities? Because I'm seeing those who occupy a seat that need a degree only have a birth certificate. I don't understand your question. Um, I will leave that to Bida. You'll respond to that government issue. Is the attendance ready? Yeah, I think we've covered. Yeah, this appreciation. Yeah, I think that's everything else. We've passed the time. Bida, if you don't mind, I'd like to share my screen again just to go over the assignment.
Please proceed, yeah.
Okay. If there are any other question, you can just type it there and then I will just go over it. Yeah, so yeah, here this is the assignment. I've not put it in presentation mode. I hope you can see it very clearly.
I'm just seeing something dark on my side.
Sure.
Can you guys see the high screen?
No, we can't
It's
see
not
it.
clear,
I
not
can't see
visible
it.
at all.
It's very dark. I can't see it.
Yeah,
What
try
is
to
that?
reshare. And if you have not registered your attendance for today, please register. The link has been shared in the chat box. Please register your attendance for today.
What about now?
Still dark.
Still dark on my
Hey,
side.
what is happening?
It is
Is
visible
it
now.
MS Word or what? Samuel is saying seeing. Samuel, you're seeing.
Yeah, I can see it. It's clear.
Why are
Okay.
other people not
I'm
seeing?
also going.
I can see it's clear.
I don't know. I'm seeing one
How
second.
many people can see? If you
Yeah.
can see, you put a thumbs up.
I'm seeing the screen.
You can see the assignment instruction?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know why I'm
Okay.
still unable to see.
But I cannot see
Brenda.
also. Whether I can't see on
You
my
still
side.
can't.
Yeah, from
It's
my
very dark.
side, I'm unable to see.
Very dark here.
That is serious.
Okay. Okay. Let me log out. Then I will log in again. Again.
I can see now. I had to leave and rejoin. I can see.
Okay. Probably network.
Maybe let me try to leave and then rejoin to see if it will appear.
Yes, those ones who are not seeing, you leave and then rejoin.
Okay, so for those of us who are here, this is what our assignment looks like. You will find a real job advert that you intend to apply for. Don't pick the one that deadline is very close because it may pass before you've applied. But again, we will cover application and CV tomorrow, so you will have the opportunity to apply. So find a real job advert that you would like to apply from. You can check Relief Web, NGO Forum, and then any other that you know. Pick out that advert that you want to apply for. Then analyze it. Use the BYBS job ad breakdown table that I've shown you up there. I will go back to the table shortly. So you analyze that job advert and then you write a 3-sentence summary on how you intend to tailor your CV and cover letters to this specific advert. Then I want to just show you the where is that? So please, if you've not understood the question, just text there. We clarify before we close. I'm trying to look for the table. I can't seem to find it.
Beren, Viola.
Yes, please.
Yeah, my question is on the assignment. You know,
Mhm.
the instruction reads that one goes and then pick an advert, and then
Mm.
yeah, the others are done. Will also the advert that one is picked be attached with the assignment so that you are able to see whether somebody is correct or wrong, and then also find a way in another session or whatever convenience time for you to correct the person. Because
Yes.
if, for instance, I picked and then you will not be able to know whether I am right because we
Yes,
haven't
yes.
seen the yeah.
Yes, please. Just put, you will provide the document, the analysis along with the advert that you've picked, because the intention is to help you to fully apply for this particular role. Okay. So
The
if you
link of the advert will also be shared. Okay.
yeah, if you don't share it, because tomorrow we will write the application letter. So we need to see what you need to be clear on what, because when I'm looking at your responses, I should see, okay, this is the advert. Is this a correct analysis? Is this a very good tailored cover letter and all of those? So you'll provide your analysis via the Google Classroom here. So I'm going to add your instruction to include. So you will add your selected advert as part of your submission so that when I'm looking at your analysis, I'll be sure that it is actually a correct analysis for the advert that you've picked.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Viola.
So the deadline is next Friday, is 29th.
I think it will be fine also if you can take us through the table, the
I
analysis
can't
table.
hear you.
I'm like, it is fine also if you can take us back to the table.
Yeah, I also need to here. So this is the BYBS 6-step analysis approach that I talked about. It's here. The first thing is to read through the advert carefully and understand everything, and then identify the 6 key sections. This one, we looked about it in the table up there, in terms of the title. Where is it? This one. Yeah, where you talk about the title, the pre- re- required qualification, preferred duties and responsibilities, and all of those. You get. So you will identify the 6 key sections here. Then you go further to highlight your must-haves and nice-haves there separately, and then extract some keywords that are being repeated throughout the advert. You will put it there, and then decode some of the key messages. To decode means to be like, if you see word like detail oriented, what does it mean for you? You will put a separate section indicating what that means. You will use this example, like this one, where you will be talking about, if you see a word like fast paced environment, what does that mean to you, and how you can use it to tailor your CV. That is just an example. Yeah. Then once you're done with that, you also write down the instructions, the application instructions. For instance, how you're going to apply, because at the end of tomorrow, you will apply for that job actually. If you find a job, you will apply for it. For those of us who don't find an active job, just pick an old one, then we will use it. But you will not apply. Then you just use the old one. But for those of us who find an actual ad, then we can actually just apply for the role at the end of the day. So I think that's everything. Exactly 20 minutes to 4. Any other question? Yeah. Paul is saying, what if you are not intending to apply for any job? It's okay. You still need to find it, because then you will need to be able to analyze a job. In future, if you want to apply for it, you should be able to know it. How you can tailor your CV, you should be able to know it. And then also how to tailor your applications. So you will be using the same advert. Just pick one. Don't change it until we cover the CV and cover letter sessions.
Hello, Brenda.
Yes, please.
Mine is not a question, but my internet has been interrupted by the time you display the assignment. I just get connected now. I don't know the procedure or the steps you have gone through when I was offline.
Here. The assignment is saying you find a real job advert, the one that you want to apply for. If you don't want to apply for any job, just pick any random advert. If you don't want to apply for any job right now, just pick any random advert that you can use. You can find it on Relief Web, on NGO Forum, jobstoapply.com, South Sudan job.com. All of those can give you adverts. Then use the BYBS job ad breakdown table to analyze the job, and then write a 3-sentence summary on how you would tailor your CV or cover letter to this specific role. Then tomorrow we will be able to cover the sections on cover letter and CV tailoring. I just want to mention that as much as the assignment is there for today, the deadline for both the assignment for today and tomorrow is next week, Friday. I put 29th August. So you have from tonight, tomorrow, and the end of the week to do the analysis. You should be able to write your cover letter and also your CV for that advert. You don't need to submit it today because it will not be possible for you to submit today, but just so you should know that you should be able to do it. Because if you don't do the analysis, you can't tailor your cover letter, you can't tailor your CV. So meaning you will continue to have the same mistakes. So
Viola,
just go ahead and do the analysis and submit the assignment by the deadline. Then the same to the sessions will cover tomorrow.
Viola, let me, I just clarification. I need clarification, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so like you're going to choose any job advert, then you analyze according to the
Mm-hmm.
whatever PY, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, you can write, somebody can write a cover letter and CV, right? According to that analysis.
Yes.
Okay, on that
Yeah.
particular job advert.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Okay.
For today's assignment, you only focus on the job analysis and then write the summary in 3 sentences using the instruction that is given. Only 3 sentences, and then you do Google Doc. You name it. You also there should be emphasis on how you name your assignments. You name your assignments the way it is given there. We will share the presentation in the Google Classroom, and then you download.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then please you do your assignments early, and then if you face challenges you also ask very early, because when you ask us now on the deadline it's going to be very difficult for us to actually help you. So Brenda will be in the WhatsApp group. She will be responding to any questions that you may have, but I don't think it should be difficult. So remember, for this assignment, you're supposed to submit 2 things. Submit the advertisement, the job advertisement that you analyzed, and then the Google Doc that has the 3 sentence uh, assessment of what you did. So that means you will have 2 submissions. You can submit the job advertisement either as a PDF, you upload it, or you just submit the link to the job advertisement. You attach the same way you attached the assignments for last week. So I think from there we can just close because we are moving now to 4:30.
Thank you, everybody. I think there are no further questions. That's the